Associates.com. And today we have our guest. Her name is Esther Coronel de Iberkleid. And I know that I messed it up, and I'm going to make sure that she says it herself because I don't know how to say it well. So, Esther, tell us more. First, start with your name, and then we are going to start with the conversation that is connecting with your wealth.
Hello, Sandra. Hello, everybody. Yes, my name is Esther Coronel de Iberkleid. Sounds very Spanish, but you said it wonderful.
Hey, man. Thank you for explaining that. So, before we get into that, tell us more about it. I wrote here that you are the clarity mentor, the life-changing coach. Tell us more about you before we get into the conversation.
Wow, I am also a leadership consultant for visionary leaders.
Oh.
And I am talking to you because you are one.
Thank you.
Okay, what would you like to know about me?
Well, what would I like to know? What is it that you do? How do you impact the life of people right now?
Okay, well, let me share with you that I was born in Montevideo, Uruguay. I studied chemical engineering, but one day I looked in the mirror and understood that there was something missing in my life.
Uh-huh.
And well, I was born in Uruguay and I studied in Uruguay. Then I got a scholarship to study in Israel, and I have been studying for my postgraduate studies there. But it was many, many years after that one day I understood that there was something else that I had to do, and not only being in the academic world and just that. And it's very interesting because this happened to me after a very difficult experience in my own life.
Mm-hmm.
I was not thinking of sharing that, but it came to me. So maybe I am guided by some forces that want me to share this with you and with your audience as well. 22 years ago, I had a baby that was born and after 1 week died.
Uh-huh.
Okay? And today, well, at that time, 22 years ago, I was very depressed. I thought it was the end of the world. And I did not understand what was going on. And it was many years after that when my dad had a stroke in 2007 that I had to run to Uruguay to see my dad because he was really very, very going to the other side. And when I came back, I began to connect with many things. You understand me, right?
Yeah.
And it was then that I understood that I had to do something different.
And what is that you are doing different now? With connecting with your wealth.
And this is what I am doing now, today. Because at that time, 10 years ago, I cannot believe that it was like 10 years ago, I understood that there was something missing in my life. I began to study my second career that I call alternative energy medicine.
Uh-huh.
And what I do today, as I told you the 2 weeks ago when we talked, I integrate everything I did in my life for people to understand who they are, understand their purpose, their vision, their mission, be able to integrate this with their passion,
mm-hmm.
something very important in life, and live a better life. And this is very, very related with what we are going to talk about today.
So today we are going to be talking about connecting with your wealth. Can you define for us what do you consider wealth so that we can all be connected with the same definition?
Well, absolutely, absolutely. People understand wealth as the abundance of valuable possessions or money. Mm-hmm. Everyone thinks that wealth is having things,
Yes.
and they never think. Do you remember when you asked me, Esther, what are we going to talk about? Tell me. And I told you, you tell me. We have been discussing about the title of this show, do you remember?
Yes.
And you know, and I remember that I told you we are going to use a trick. We are going to say connecting with your wealth, because everybody is used to listen connecting with your soul. Do you remember that?
Okay, yeah.
And the thing is that people many times don't get at the beginning of their journey of awakening,
Yes.
they don't get the sentence connecting with your soul.
Yeah.
This is not something I want to listen to, okay? But I want to say something. To be able to connect with your wealth, you have to connect with your soul.
I like that.
And you know that.
Yes.
Why is it that?
Yes.
Why is this like that? Because
So since you're
yes.
saying connecting with your wealth is connecting with your soul, could you break that down a little more? Without extending it, let's break that down.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, I love it. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to have wealth. Everybody wants to be happy.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I meet someone new that do not know who I am, and they ask me, what do you do? You know what I answer? I say, I help people live a better life. So this is very, very, like, not clear, and I am the clarity mentor. And so why do I answer like that? Because I want them to ask me the second question.
Exactly.
And the next question will be, can you please tell me, how do you do that?
That's right.
Okay. And so when they ask me the second question, I say, well, I help them understand who they are, what they want, what are the tools they came to live their life with, and how they can integrate all this knowledge that is inside themselves to be able to generate the wealth they want. Everybody wants wealth and do not know how to create it. We all have wisdom.
Yes.
We all are creative beings. We all have a lot to give and deliver to the world.
Yes.
But mostly we have been taught in a way that we are unable to reconnect with our wisdom.
Yes.
So we have to awake to be able to reconnect with our wisdom.
Yes. That is true. I like that.
So when you ask me, why do we have to connect with our soul to be able to connect with our wealth? Because it is there that is like hiding our wealth.
Hiding who we are as people, hiding our passion, putting it away in a box or something.
You know, we have the tools, we have the information, we have to learn how to connect with it to be able to generate the wealth we want.
So how do we do that?
Well, this is a very, very good question. We do that first understanding that we have it.
Yes.
Understanding that we need to have clarity, that we need to have confidence in who we are, and that we need to have self-esteem to understand who we really are, not who we think we are.
Exactly.
Because we are so like managed or used to be judged by the environment that we listen to the outside instead of listen to the inside.
Exactly. And that is a difficult time that most people have, is really not knowing. Every time that I'm talking to coaches or I'm talking to people, that is the hardest thing that people have, is identifying, Okay, so what do I do? How do I do it? How do I define it?
Exactly. Number one, you have to sit and listen to yourself and be honest with yourself, understanding who you are, what you love, which are the tools you came to live your life with, and how to integrate who you are, and where you want to be able to develop the story, the true story of your life. You know, because we live many stories in along the journey of our life. Many times we are living a story that is not our story. It's the other people's story.
Yes.
Don't do this, don't do that, you are not going to be successful. I know
Exactly.
why you are laughing. Can you share with me why you are laughing?
Yeah. Could I share with you why I'm laughing? Because I hear that a lot. Many people told me what I should be and what I shouldn't do. And when I try to listen to them, I fail. When I did what I want, I failed, but it was enjoyable because after I failed, I was victorious because I listened to me, to what was inside of me.
Exactly. And you know, there is something more important than that. We have an ego. And many times our big Mr. Ego tries to manage our life his way. His way is not our true way.
Ooh, preach it. Come on, tell us about that ego.
You know, many times I have been in session with people and I tell them, okay, it's time to negotiate with your ego.
Ooh.
Now you are going to tell your ego to let you do what you want to do, and you are not going to tell him to take control of your life.
Wow.
Because this is one of the big problems we all have. But as soon as we awake to the truth and we awake to the real life we came to live, you know, Maya Angelou said this, and I love this woman. She said, we are not human beings living a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings living a human experience.
Whoa, deep.
And you know, as a doctor in chemistry and a person that studied so much, and I teach all the sciences, mathematics, chemistry, physics, and I teach my students to be excellent, and I help them to have absolutely a control how to study and who they are, and they love it because they don't believe that they can be excellent when they were not.
Yeah.
This is what I love the most. I love to see them perform different.
Yes.
And they love to understand that what they wear is not the truth.
What a joy. What a joy.
Yeah, I love it. And so, you know, the thing is that when you begin to understand that you are the one that has to wake up and be in control of everything happening around you and inside you, things can really be different. Many people ask me this, Sandra.
Before you go into what the people ask you, hold that thought. We will be back. We are going to go on a commercial break, and then we're going to let her share with us what she has. Thank you for tuning in to The Code. The Code is presented by En Vivo Associates, our affiliates, our sponsors, and of course, our guests. Comments or questions or any show idea for us, please send us an email to info@envivoassociates.com. Thank you for tuning in to The Code. Well, we are back and we are here with Esther, who is a clarity mentor and coach, and with Sandra Graves, the host of The Code here on En Vivo Live. We are here every Thursday at 7 p.m. whenever God allows. And we are ready to hear your story. If you are a coach or a motivational speaker and you also want to share your message with our audience, please do so by connecting with us at info at envivoassociates.com. And before we took a break, Esther said that the first step was to be honest with yourself. And the second, while she was talking about that, one of those things that I write down is negotiate with your ego. And right before I cut her, she was going to share a story with us. Tell us, Esther.
Okay, there are many myths, and one is that wealthy people are not good people. And there are many fears that stop us from remembering, controlling our beliefs and thoughts toward not getting the true concept of wealth. Mm-hmm. And the ego is only doing what he knows to do.
Yes.
He wants to control us with the elements he has. Yeah. We have been listening to many things along the journey of our life path. And there are many people saying many things, and fear is the false evidence that appears to be real. I will repeat that because it's very interesting. Fear, F-E-A-R, means false evidence that appears to be real.
Woo! I like that. False evidence that appears to be real. You heard that, right?
Yes, and why is this happening? Because we have been listening to our parents, to our teachers,
yes.
to everybody, to our friends.
Yeah.
For example, you may go and say, I have an idea, I will be doing this. So your friend says, no, don't do that. You're crazy. It will not work. And so the question is, why do you think it will not work?
Yeah.
And they don't have an answer.
Yes, they usually don't.
They think they know. So people around us all the time say things, but they don't know why they say those things.
Uh-huh.
And so this is very interesting because we have to listen to ourselves. Because if we feel something, this is coming from our heart. This is coming from our inner wisdom. And if we believe in God, or however you want to call this force that guides us, I accept everything because I think that every person can believe in whatever he wants. Uh-huh. And I respect as well everything. So when one person has that passion, because this is the passion, and wants to express, I would love to do that. And suddenly comes the negative side of the world saying, don't do that.
Yes. And the sad part is that it becomes so natural because many people have negative experiences immediately, and I have been guilty of that. I'm not going to tell you no. Immediately we jump to question the person instead of jumping to encourage them. I mean, I know we're afraid of, they're going to fail, they're going to get hurt, but it's okay. And we learn through that process as well. Everything is not going to be perfect, but when we take those chances, when we take a risk, it's so delicious. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I have taken so many risks, and it has been delicious when I did it.
And yes, and there is something additional to that. We all had negative experiences.
Yes.
We learn from them.
Yes.
And this is something we are all going to go through, and we are going to learn that next time we don't go that way.
That's right.
But it doesn't mean that because we have that experience, we are not going to experience something new that we feel will be okay.
That's right.
And there is something additional to that, Sandra. When we had a negative experience, maybe we had some information that was telling us, don't go that way, and we did not listen to it.
I know I didn't listen. I know I had those messages.
We all had that. We had all these type of experiences.
Yes.
And so the thing is, listen to your inner wisdom, and these feelings that you have are guidance from the big
God,
chief,
uh-huh.
whoever is your big chief.
Yes. But don't you think that maybe it was because our ego got in the way?
Absolutely. And we have to negotiate, and we have to deal with it, and we have to ask him, okay, well, I am listening to you. Why do you think that I don't have to go that way? And so you will be having information about, do you remember that you did that and it didn't work? Do you remember, blah, blah, blah? Do you remember, blah, blah, blah? So what is this about? This means that you have information you have to take into consideration, because this information will nurture you the way you are going to do it next time.
Exactly.
It means, okay, why did it not work that time?
Yes.
And why do you think it will work this time?
Yes.
Because I'm not going to do the same mistake I considered today I did.
Yes.
But we are all learning on the way of living our life. I have a friend that will be listening to this, that when he sends me a mail, when he signs the mail, he says his name and then still on the journey. I love how he writes it. And so it means to me that while we are, and he will be laughing when he will be listening to this show, because he will be listening. And I am sure he will be laughing, because the meaning of this sentence to me is, if you are still alive, you can try, you can do, let's do it.
That's right. I totally agree with that. While we're still living, we have all the opportunities to keep going, to keep moving, to keep fighting, and to achieve our goals.
Absolutely.
So Esther, can you? We are running out of time. Can you finish up by telling us more about achieving our wealth?
About?
Wealth. Tell us more. We have a short time to go. So can you try to close and let us know about achieving that wealth?
Well, number one, write down what you have done in your life from the time you began to do things for yourself, by yourself. For example, maybe after you end studying, or when you decided that you had to go to work. So what did you do? How did it work? And what do you think today was not something that was fulfilling or gave you happiness, or was not the way to feel the real you? And begin to ask yourself who you are. What do you like to do? How do you see you? How do you see you successful? Where do you see you? What would you like to be, to do, to spend your day doing? Because there are things that you are doing that you are not taking into consideration or into account, and that you love, and you think that you can't go that way.
Yes.
Why? Why do you think that you can't go that way? For example, I had a client, this is very interesting. I had a client, a girl, many years ago, and she came to me and she said that I studied what my father wanted me to study.
Woo.
I had 100% in my final exam, and as soon as I ended, I closed everything and I went to do what I wanted to do. Wow. I listened to her and I said, congratulations. What did your father say? And we began to talk about all the emotional things that were bothering her, because what the father said, why are you doing what you are doing? Because you have a profession and you are not working. And so she needed to have the confidence and
Yes.
the self-esteem to be able to deal with the father,
Yes.
because she knew this was not what she wanted to do,
Yes.
but she did it for him.
Yeah. And there's
So
many
that,
people doing that, either for their father or because a promise they made to their grandmother or to somebody, and they are not feeling free to make their own choices.
exactly. It's time for everyone to understand first who they are,
Mm-hmm.
who they want to be, how they want to show up in the world. What is the legacy that they want to leave when they go
Yes.
from here?
Yes. What legacy you want to leave? Yeah. Very important.
Exactly. You know, I remember that many, many years ago, one of my mentors sent me a mail and asked me, Esther, I want you to write about your legacy. Okay, I said, this is easy. I am laughing. I will tell you why I am laughing. Because I said, oh, this is easy. I began to write. Then when I read, I say, no, this is not my legacy. This is what I am doing, not my legacy. It's not the same what you are doing and your legacy.
That's right.
Because you know, Sandra, I will share this, and this is very related with your wealth. Your legacy is what you want to leave in the other people.
That's right.
Inside themselves with all your passion.
Mm-hmm.
When you are not going to be here anymore.
Could you
are
repeat that?
going
Repeat
to
that
leave
again.
a part of you.
Repeat that again. Repeat about the
Okay.
legacy.
Okay. For me, your legacy is what you will leave in the other one once you will not be here.
That's
It's
right.
a part of you, part of your energy that will stay with them,
Yes.
that you will remember them, they will remember you, you will be remembered.
Yes.
I will tell you something. Yesterday, 2 days ago, I wrote something in my Facebook. You can go to my Facebook, Esther, Coronel, Iberkleid, and read it. Because Facebook reminded me of what I wrote 1 year ago when my dad passed.
Yeah.
And you know, I wrote something about how I feel 1 year after he passed. And I feel that as a daughter, together with my siblings, we really did everything we could do for him to live a wonderful life.
Yeah.
And he gave us everything he could, and he will be guiding us. Because I feel they are still with me, my parents.
Mm-hmm.
And this is exactly what I feel is a legacy.
Yes.
A legacy can be done in many ways, not only with a profession.
Yes.
Of course, that you are going to live it through your profession, absolutely, because while you are working daily in your daily day of work, you live in others some things from you.
Yes.
So what you have to ask yourself is, what would you like to live after you end living your life?
Yes. And that's a very good question. So I hope that if you are listening right now, please ask yourself that question. I know it will make a difference in the actions that you take, because when you're thinking about how you're going to impact others, it make you take different kind of actions that you were taking. I mean, if you feel that you're not making an impact now, you can start making those changes so that you can leave an impacting legacy to your family and friends and
I
everything.
have something to add to this that is very
And
important.
can you close, because we have 1 minute?
Yes. You know, many politicians today think that riches has to be divided. And I do believe that we have to teach the new generations how to generate the wealth.
That's right.
Instead of dividing the wealth of others.
That's right. So you heard that. We have